What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike Restelli if you're new here, and today we are going to get started on the rat's nest that is my wiring harness. So this all looks a bit daunting and careless because it is. So let's get this on the bench and get started on it. Right. So let me explain what's going on here. So with this harness in particular, this one is off, that we're going to be rebuilding. This one is off of the factory 2JZ motor that came out of the IS300. This car in particular was a factory manual car, so I ended up keeping the harness. That way I can put it on this 1JZ and make it work. And one of the key components there is standalone ECU, at least in my opinion, to make things work properly, better, more easy. So this one is one of the last generations of the excessive link ECU collaborations with a panic wire harness adapter, I guess, rather. So that, and what I was doing here was just kind of assessing the harness when I took it off the motor. And the thing is being in Arizona, any plastics, any kind of oil-based products like that, they just deteriorate really quickly. And my harness was no exception. So I was going through, I even bought these little key things here. I don't know if you can see that, the little ring, and what those help with is detaching the harness ends. And I was hoping just to do kind of a clean uninstall and a reinstall and have new end connectors. But when I got going on that, the end connectors themselves were so brittle that I would apply any pressure and then half the end connector would just fall off. So it is what it is. I've actually got a good chunk of this already complete and labeled for the most part. So it's fixing this one here I need to do, because one of the cables, the internal, the portion is exposed. So it's got a little slice here. It's nothing major, but I just want to play it safe and not try and avoid issues where I can. So I'm gonna try and get this one off and just cut it and clean it up. I also have a bunch of this covering here. It's a fire retardant covering that has Velcro to wrap it around. So initially, when I was starting this, I did not intend on actually replacing all the end connectors to that, or 80% of the end connectors like I have been. So I purchased ones with Velcro instead of just purchasing normal slip over cover. This has a good fire rating and it's decent quality. I guess we'll see though. So if it ends up being complete garbage, I'll just have to find a better product and figure that out. But this is like a leftover baggie of stuff that I could replace if I needed to, but I don't. And part of that is because I also have, let me bring this over here. I also have already completed, and this was a while ago, but I've already completed the 1NZ, 1ZZ Prius coil pack conversion. So you can kind of see here, that's all new. That's not gonna focus, there it is. Those are all new connectors that are cut in and put on the harness for the coil packs themselves. So yeah, let's get to cleaning this thing up. All right, so this first connector, and I think this will honestly be my last one that I need to replace because the other ones are in pretty good shape. If not, I've already replaced them. So this last one, I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see a little cut there. And it's probably no big deal, but I wanted to go ahead and pull this one apart, and then we'll go ahead and get on this stuff and lacing all this exposed cabling, covering it up so it's a little bit more safe. So let's get started. All right, check it out. Got the old end connector off. This one was actually pretty good. It wasn't super brittle or anything, but I'm not going to reuse it because I have a new one. I ended up putting some labels on these things just so that I knew kind of where they went, you know, in relationship to it's based on the orientation here for you know, left to right or 1, 2, 3, however you want to label them, just so I don't forget. And yeah, so now let's cut these. I'm going to cut these ends off and put the new stuff on. Okay, so I went ahead and just repaired the one that was cut, and still, you know, put the new end connector on. But to be completely honest with you, these little rubber boot deals right here, they're just not up to that OE kind of quality. You can kind of tell with the seal on the back. So I'd rather just, you know, minimize my risk. I like how the OE ones are so like sealed, right, from getting oil or, you know, potentially other fluids in there. So the end connectors on the other two were fine. They look good, so that should be okay. But there it is, new end connector for that. Yeah, now it's time to dress up the cables. All right, so I need to actually order more of this sheathing. I think initially when I bought this, I didn't anticipate taking this harness, this end connector off, the VSS one in particular, and then lining it like I have. It looks pretty good, you know, nothing crazy. I'm not a huge fan of the whole Velcro situation, but it allows me to do any kind of repairs if I need to, given this is my first attempt at this. So it's a good start. So I need to order more of that, and I do have the bigger spool so I can get some of this, you know, chunky stuff situated. So we'll get started on that. All right, so I think I'm going to sling this thing on the engine and just kind of lay it out because it's a mess. I've got it a little bit manageable. I put some flame retardant tape just to kind of clean up this area and get an idea of how things might get lined up. But I think just laying it over the engine might help a lot. But again, I still have to order more of this stuff, which kind of sucks, but they shipped pretty quick, so no big deal there, I guess. So I'm gonna try that. Let's try that. Okay, so yeah, I'll start here. I've got all these connectors connected up. Obviously not this one, but get this lined up here and then start working my way back. Alright everybody, I'm going to call that part 1 of the harness rebuild / install. It's pretty boring, it's pretty tedious work, but it's going along, and I think, you know, lining it on the vehicle is actually helping. So be sure to stay tuned for part 2 of this install and completion, and again, it's just one more step closer to getting this thing on the track. So be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Peace. Thank you.